Despite having teams in 3 out of 4 North American leagues, Canada doesn't have an NFL team. Should they get one? Here's my opinion. The NFL is really popular in Canada. Over 14 million unique viewers watched the Super Bowl last year, almost 50% of the Canadian population. The first problem we come into if the NFL were to expand to Canada is where the hell will it go? Canada only has 2 viable cities, in my opinion, that could hold an NFL team, Montreal and Toronto, with Toronto being the most likely because of the population and because of it being the most popular city in Canada with the most people. And the first big problems if the NFL expanded to Canada would be that there's no place to put a stadium. You could use the Rogers Centre, but that only holds 46,000 people at max, and that is kind of low in NFL stadium capacity, when most of the stadiums are holding 60,000. You would probably have to build a new stadium, but that's going to cost a lot of taxpayers money, and they probably won't want to build a new stadium with their money. And the problem is there's no place in Toronto or the GTA to build a football stadium with the hotels and the business districts and that. So that's your first problem. Another problem is that the Canadian dollar is really low and weak compared to the American dollar. So it would cost Canadian companies more money to build a stadium than it would count to their American neighbors. So that is a problem, because if it costs more to build a stadium and you're not sure if people will show up because of the team being bad in its first couple years. Another factor is that the NFL already has a market in Canada. As I said before, 14 million unique viewers watched the Super Bowl last year, so the NFL is trying to expand to markets that it's not reached, which is why they're focusing on Europe. So I think the time for a Canadian team in the NFL has passed. In conclusion, I don't think the NFL will expand to Canada because of the lack of people interested in a new football team when they're bad, the cost of building a new stadium, no place for the stadium to be built in Toronto, and the lack of Canadian dollar being weaker than the American. So those are my thoughts on why the NFL won't expand to Canada. Let me know if you agree or your thoughts below in the comment section.